So today's video might be a little bit more somber than my regular videos, and a trigger warning for talking about loss of a friend, grief. I may or may not touch on a little bit about my faith background. So if any of those things feel a little too heavy for you right now, then this video is probably not for you, and you can skip to the next one. But if you would like to stick around, I would love to spend some time talking about the grief of losing a friend and how we keep going, how we keep moving forward, carrying their memory with us when they're no longer here with us. Or maybe just life in general has gotten hard. Maybe it's just regular old trauma and something has just been really heavy for you. And how do we move forward? And the truth is, I don't really have any solutions in this video. I just think that sometimes we have to talk about it. Sometimes just getting it off our chest is sometimes enough, right? Is sometimes enough. And I've noticed I've just had a hard time figuring out how to talk about Mandy and how to express just how much beautiful space she took up in my life and how much like she's just not there anymore. So I'm not even going to do an intro. I'm not even doing an intro because I feel like it would just feel a little bit too chintzy and, I don't know, heavy, but I'll at least give a very light introduction. My name is Kayla. I'm a multi-passionate and I'm doing all the things and I'm documenting my messy middle so you don't feel so alone in yours. And that messy middle sometimes includes the death of a friend. And I would just like a little bit of a space to talk about Mandy and try to just to share with you where I'm at and how I'm trying to move forward, knowing that I'm moving forward without her. That every moment that I'm moving into the future, more space is between me and her existence here on earth, like, because her timeline stopped. It's done, and I continue, and she's not here now. For me and my faith, I believe that she is, with God right now, with Jesus, and having a blast and at a better in a much more enjoyable place than here. But I also just miss my friend. I just miss my friend. So if you want to stick around and hear about my friend Mandy, and if you would like to, if you are willing to stick around knowing that there may be tears, then I would love for you to hang out for a little while and feel free to grab a drink, or maybe you need to look at a picture of somebody you've lost, and just hear me talk about my friend, and you think about the person you've lost and figure out how we're gonna keep moving forward together. So Mandy, spelled I-E, M-A-N-D-I-E. Her full name was Amanda, but she hated that. She always went by Mandy, and she wanted it to be M-A-N-D-I-E. She's very, very specific about that. We met in college. We both went to Cornerstone University in Grand Rapids, Michigan. We were both music majors. She was a pianist. I was a vocal performance major, and she kind of latched on me from day one. When I look back at it, it doesn't make sense that we were friends. I mean, it doesn't, right? But it doesn't make sense that we were friends, such close friends, because she was hardcore extrovert. I call myself an ambivert, but she always disagreed with me. She was like, no, I think you're extroverted. But I consider myself an ambivert. I think I got really good at being extroverted, and I do enjoy social gatherings. I enjoy being around other people, but I really get my energy back by being alone. I could sit in a quiet room with absolutely no noise and be completely and utterly happy. Would be totally happy. So it doesn't really make sense that we ended up being friends, but we did. And yeah, Mandy has been described as a literal ray of sunshine. And when she was sick, her dad would always joke about how she was, I think she was B positive blood type, and that it made sense that that was her blood type because she was probably the most positive person I've ever met, to the point where it was annoying at times. And I'm sure I annoyed her because she was the bright ray of sunshine. If she was the bright ray of sunshine, I was the gloomy cloud that always conveniently gets in the way. I was the Eeyore to her. I guess I would say I would be the Eeyore to her Tigger, I would say. Just very energetic, very fun-loving. And yeah, we got to room together our junior year in college, and that was as chaotic and as fun as you can imagine. But little did we know at the time that she was already dealing with the chronic illness that would end up killing her. When she was 18, she went to a summer camp and she was bit by a tick. At the time, you know, they just thought it was a mosquito bite. And so, yeah, the rest kind of is history on that. Contracted a tick-borne illness, but I think I want to say, I can't remember what year it was. I want to say it was like her sophomore year in college. She ended up being diagnosed with MS. So they thought she had MS because she was starting to have some of these neurological issues, and she ended up being misdiagnosed with MS. So they, for, I want to say it was like 7 years, they treated her with MS. And so we kind of just, I mean, it was really, really sad because she started losing feeling in her hands and her feet. And so she wasn't able to finish her college degree at the same time as the rest of the people in her class. She did eventually finish, I believe. See, now I have to think back. But she wasn't able to finish on time with us, but she was still in all of the classes and hung out with us and everything. And she did the more classical track because she wanted to be a teacher, and I did not want to be a teacher. I went down vocal performance. But yeah, I don't know. I think one of the things that's hard is I don't know how you talk about how you reduce somebody's whole life and existence and their whole history with you into like where do I start? What do I say other than just like, I don't know, this person who's just feels like a piece of me is now gone. And I miss her. And I think the thing that's really weird about grief is that it just comes and goes in waves, and you don't know when it's going to hit, and you don't know why it comes when it does. Like there'll be times in these videos, and I'm sure you've seen it before, where I'm just like, yeah, my best friend died. And it's like, I'm able to just say like, yeah, my best friend died, as if I'm like ordering nuggets from, you know, a fast food restaurant or something. And it feels trivial, and it feels just weird because it doesn't seem as though it's real. So it doesn't feel like it's real. And then I also sometimes just want to like drop in random moments like, yeah, my best friend died, because I just want people to know that she existed. You know, I just want to know that I want other people to know that she was here, and she's not here anymore. And so it'll just be, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I can just say it and be like, oh, my best friend died. And because she was chronically ill, there were times that she had long stints in the hospital where we didn't talk as much because she was physically so ill that she couldn't talk, or she had so much brain fog that she was incapable of saying full sentences. And so there were just times where like I didn't hear from her for a while, you know, and I would just get updates when I got updates from her parents. And so in my mind, there's a part of me that still feels like it's just one of those times. Like she's still just in the hospital, and I'll hear from her when she's able to. And I have to remind myself that like there is no other time. She's not getting out of the hospital. She's gone. I was at the funeral. I saw the urn. I spoke. I sang at the funeral. And then there are other times where like this past Sunday at church, I was singing a song, and literally, I just go to sing this line of a song that I've sung 1,000 times. I just, the word, like, I just burst out into tears on stage in front of everybody, whatever, I don't care. And I just felt like I couldn't say the words because we were singing about faithfulness and goodness, and I just felt like I don't know how to sing those words right now. I don't, like I obviously need to finish the song because I'm here and I'm leading the community in a song, together. But I'm sitting here like I don't know, that line is kind of harder to sing right now. All the while knowing Mandy is like, well, yeah, I still believe that's true, even though I'm not there anymore. I still believe in the goodness of God. I still believe in the faithfulness of God, and that there's still goodness around. Yeah, I don't know. One of my, it's so hard for me to know what to say, what to talk about, but I will leave with this before I move into how am I moving forward. When she had been, past tense, still working on that, ill for a long time, like I said, and this one or two more times, I think there was like the second to the last time she was in the hospital, she was asking me for video game recommendations, and I love Skyrim. I've always talked about Skyrim, and she knew about my love of Skyrim, and I got her hooked on Skyrim, and let me tell you, because she was in a hospital bed with nothing else to do, she logged some serious hours and she became absolutely obsessed with Skyrim. And when I tell you that is the most unlikely thing that you would ever expect from her, like, I don't know how else to describe to you that Mandy was like not a person. If you met her, you would not expect her to be a Skyrim person. You could expect like, oh, what is that? Hidden Stardew Valley. Like, she's a Stardew Valley type of girl, right? Was a Stardew Valley type of girl. And I converted her into a Skyrim girly. And I loved that. I loved that she loved me so much that she wanted to connect with me in that way. It really warms my heart. And she would just randomly text me things, and of course then we would have all of these inside jokes about Skyrim. And yeah, I miss those conversations. We texted daily and FaceTimed almost every other week. And last year I ended up I got pregnant very unexpectedly. My husband and I were never planning on having kids, and miracle on miracles, we ended up pregnant. Not me, me. And I remember when I told Mandy this, she said, she was very excited for us, obviously, but she also knew how scared I was, and she knew that I didn't want kids, and she knew how hard that was for me. And we made each other a promise a long time ago, but she did it for me as well in that moment. She said, I'm going to be excited for you. And it's not that I'm not thinking about you or baby or anything like that, but I'm just going to treat you like Kayla because that's who you are. And that was my biggest fear of becoming a mom, was me disappearing and me not mattering anymore. And all of a sudden everything is about baby and everything is about, being a mom, and you're not yourself anymore. You're now somebody entirely different. And there is truth to that. You do become an entirely different person, I think, when you have a kid. But I don't think that necessarily needs to be in the derogatory way that I had thought all these years, right? And I'll never forget it. Her and her family, for one of my baby shower gifts, they pulled together and bought me a new Xbox. Because I had been joking, I was like, well, now it's all about baby, so do you think I could put an Xbox on my baby shower registry? How do you think that'll go over? It was just a joke, and she didn't take it as a joke. She took it seriously. And so I now have the latest Xbox because my best friend bought that for me as my baby shower gift. And that was Mandy. If I could sum up all of the 15 plus years of friendship together, that was her. That was her. And there's still a lot I haven't processed. Yeah, there's still a lot I haven't processed, but how do you keep going? How do you keep going? Mandy was one of my biggest supporters, and she believed in this channel, she believed in my Patreon, she believed in all of the random stupid crap that I tried over the years and failed. Photography, graphic design, all of it, you name it, she was always my biggest fan. Not just my biggest fan, I have multiple best friends, and they were also equally. One of my other close friends, Marty, he's like the first one to comment on my YouTube videos, the first one to like it and get a view in. So I have many supporters, but Mandy was one of them. And when I told her that I was writing this fantasy duology, and if you don't know about that, I will link a video here, but I'm writing a fantasy duology and it's almost done, and I'm hoping to publish it this year. It got pushed from last year because of everything. And she would just ask me about it. How's it going? How's your main character, Nassim? How far are you on it? And I think I'm very sad she's not going to get to read it. I'm very sad she doesn't get to meet my daughter. It's heavy. It's heavy. But I think, how do we keep going? Because she believed in me. I think it's her memory that I want to honor. You know? Because she was so excited for me, probably more excited and believed in me more than I believed in myself. And I think because of that, I want to keep going. I want to keep going. I want to preserve that memory. I want to remember her through my art. That by finishing this, by completing this, by continuing to move forward on my YouTube and hoping that one day I get monetization and I can be a full-time artist, entrepreneur person, that it was part of her belief in me that helped me get here, and so many others. And I feel like maybe you're in that same situation, you know, maybe something just feels really heavy. And I think you maybe not owe it. I mean, owe it, I don't like it when we say we owe it, but it feels a little, I don't know, intense. But I think what a better way to honor the memory of those who have passed, who have gone before us, who are no longer with us, to those who have believed in us along the way when we didn't believe in ourselves, and maybe they're not here to cheer us on anymore physically, right? They're not here anymore. I think the continuing to move forward is the way that we continue to honor them, as well as talking about them. Even when it's hard, like now I feel like I just rambled for 18 minutes, 19 minutes, almost 20 minutes. I don't really know I don't know how to verbalize my grief. I don't know how to neatly contain it, because I don't think it can be neatly contained. But I keep going. I keep dropping this because I'm fidgeting. I keep going. I keep showing up. I think I have more fire under my feet to keep going, because Mandy passed away, because she's no longer here, and because I don't want all of that faith and love that she poured into me to go to waste, and for me to say, well, this is too heavy now without you. I don't want to do it anymore. If anything, I want that to be like, hey, because I want to take that and say, let's finish this. Let's do this thing. And I think also because of my daughter, like now that my daughter is here and I love her, she's great. She's just wonderful. And learning how to be a mother and learning how to juggle motherhood and this new version of myself that I also birthed, I want her to see that her mom can do hard things, and that her mom knows that it's okay to grieve and it's okay to keep moving forward. And it's not that we forget and we don't pretend that it's not hard, but that we can keep moving forward. Slowly, maybe crawling on hands and knees, maybe dragging ourselves along. But I want to remember Mandy and how hard she fought and how she kept her freaking joyous, positive self as a glass half full to the very, very end. To the very, very end. And while I'll probably always be a melancholic personality, I think there's a little bit of Mandy's positivity that I would like to integrate in my life. Just a level of just unadulterated joy that was there for her. So yeah, that's all I've got. Yeah, thank you for letting me talk about my friend. I'll probably talk about her more in the future when I find the words, when they come, and it'll come and go. It'll ebb and flow. If you have a loved one who's passed, or if there's somebody in your life that you're missing, I'd love to hear about them. I'd love to hear about them. If you feel comfortable, share with us in the comments who that person was, what they meant to you. Why are you still going? You know, why are you continuing to move forward? Whose memories are you bringing with you? Whose memories are you bringing with you as Mandy was determined to move forward? In the same way, how are you moving forward? With whose memories? I'd love to hear. If you don't feel comfortable in the comments, then feel free to DM me. I would love to hear from you. Yeah. Well, friend, I always like to end this way. If you have not heard this ever in your life, or maybe you just haven't heard it recently, I want you to know that I am proud of you, and I think your life is worth getting back up for. Talk to you later.